Okay, the second senior is Emily Hanna. Emily came to us from Renton, Washington, Cambridge High School. She played her first 2 years at Highline Community College as an all-star, all-conference player there. She's majored in math, and this past fall she played 20 games and started 16. Her career, she played in all 40 games and started in 36. Her career totals were 3 goals and 10 assists for 16 points. This year she had 2 goals and 5 assists. She was one of our assist leaders this year and last year. You know, Emily was unique to me. I've never had a 2-year player in my program. I think Emily is the first. Certainly the first to see out those 4 years. I think she's the first one in our program in general. And I remember that Joe, my former assistant, went and saw her a couple times. And I said, well, Joe, what do you think? And she's like, well, he's a really good player. She's kind of feisty. You know? And I said, all right, and what does that mean? She goes, she's just feisty. I said, okay, well, I like feisty. We can work with feisty. And I remember Emily came on our first, we kind of do in the spring, we bring in all the players that are going to be on the roster for the fall and do kind of like a little meet and greet between the team that's training in the spring and the incoming recruits. And, you know, I didn't even know what Emily looked like. That's probably not a good thing, but Joe had done mainly recruiting, and I did my homework and talked to a lot of coaches that knew her, and they all said great things. And so, you know, when I walk up there, the first time we met was actually at our little spring kind of get to know you day. So, but boy, you know, she was an outstanding player the last 2 years. One of our better attacking, dynamic, mobile players in midfield. And you know, I'm proud she's going to finish out her degree here. Her brother played soccer here, so she has another year to finish out her math degree. But it's always good. I coach at the community college level, and it's always good to see players that start that road finish that road at a 4-year school, because really community college is a checkpoint, not an end point. And sometimes I've seen a lot of student athletes kind of veer off, and they don't go any, you know, they don't even finish. And so, proud that Emily's going to get her degree and that she played her soccer career, and she was an outstanding player for us. She was all conference last year, 2nd team, and 3rd team all region as a junior. And you know, I wish her the best. I'm proud to have her around the school for another year. We'll certainly be running into her, but really thankful that she came to our program. So, Emily Hanna.
So first off, I didn't think I was going to play college soccer. It was just kind of like too late talking to coaches through high school, and then I got an opportunity to play community college. Okay, might as well play another 2 years, and then kind of found myself in the same boat after community college. I didn't know where I wanted to go, didn't know what I was doing, and then kind of threw a Hail Mary pass to Joe. Excuse me, and I was like, hey, I still kind of want to play, but you still have me. Didn't know anything about Steph. I think I knew as much about the program as he did about me. But, you know, it all worked out. So I'd like to say thank you to all the coaches. Mark, thank you for hopping in the 4-goal game. Todd, you were a great addition this year. You had so many helpful things to say to me during this sideline of the game or halftime. Same for Kate. I think Kate came up to me the most during halftime and she said, hey, try this, do this with Mac or Taylor and everything. Worked out, always grateful for that little advice. And to Seth, thank you for giving me a chance, because you didn't ever see me play. I think that's a big kind of risk to take. I'm really grateful for that. And thank you for always pushing me to be my best and believing in me. And then thank you to my mom for being my biggest fan, always on the sideline. And to all the players. It's rough being a senior because you know it's coming to an end, but the past 2 years have just been great and full of memories. Obviously, I'm never going to forget England, but also just the little things like just the mafia nights, the music, and just like all those little things you're going to cherish forever. great, but the alumni is going to confuse.
I have to give props to my wife. She does all the framing of the jersey. That's not an easy process. So the 6 seniors next year, we're going to have to talk about that. I got some ideas for some other gifts, but we can talk about that. So think about that out there. Okay, the third senior is going to be Jamie Hoffman. Jamie came to us from Federal Way Kennedy High School. This year she played 20 games, started 20 games, 4 goals and 4 assists, her highest output since she's been here for 12 points. Overall, she played in 78 games in her career here at PLU and started 35. She had 7 goals and 11 assists for 25 points. And I think that the way to talk about Jamie, she's a business major, majoring in business marketing, and her parents, Dave and Heather, are at every game. Her sister's at a lot. She's here today. And her main guy, Marquis, is always around. And I actually had Marquis and Jamie in my intermediate tennis class, so that was pretty fun. Marquis thought he was good, and then, I had to come across against the instructor, so sometimes life can humble you. But I think the way to think about Jamie is, in her freshman year she started 1 game. She played in almost all of them. In her sophomore year she started in 1 game. In her junior year she started in 13. And her senior year she started in all 20 and had her best goals and assist production ever. So like I said, I think Jamie defines the word improvement. She came here as similar to what Emily did, just as a walk-on in 2012. Very persistent. Hey, I'm coming. I'm not a big open tryout person during training camp because I try to do due diligence and get out and see every player play before they come in here so we know what we have to work with. But Jamie just said, hey, I'm coming, and I said, okay. And kudos to her because she had a great training camp, and from there she just took off. And again, one of the hardest workers that I've ever coached here in my 4 years, off the field, with her studies, being involved in, she works a couple jobs, she helps out with intramural sports as a referee, and certainly she's visible and around the athletic program all the time. So, a famous manager said work ethic is a skill, and I think Jamie has that skill down. She's an extremely hard worker, and to see where she came from, which is very humble beginnings, to see how she impacted a top 25 NCAA Division III team in the country, and she was a major part of that. Again, just awesome to see. So very thankful to have had the 4 years with Jamie Hoffman, and I want to thank her personally for all the work that she put in this program. You're a legacy sort of builder, Jamie, so come on up. Thank you.
Okay, so I don't really have anything prepared, but Okay, so I just want to say thanks to the team. Like, you guys are literally so awesome. It's been an amazing 4 years with you guys, or 3 or 2, whatever. But I don't know how non-student athletes do it, because you guys are my friends. Like, you guys are how I make friends. So that's awesome, and especially my dorm freshman year. I wasn't really with them very much, so it was you guys, and you guys really helped me to develop the relationships and develop the friendships that I've made, and you guys are literally second family. Just being with you guys every day, it's been so awesome. So I just thank you for that, the relationships we've built, and the progress we made throughout these 4 years has been amazing, and I'm just so blessed to be a part of it, to know you guys, and so just thanks to my little fan base back there. They've already been mentioned, but thanks for literally being at basically every game. There's a couple, but it's okay. But you guys are awesome, and I'm just very thankful for you. I don't say thanks enough. Thanks for England. Gotta give a little shout out. Thanks for England. I thank you enough for that. That was an amazing experience. So just thanks for letting that happen. Shout out to my mom. She basically picked PLU for me, so. And then shout out to my dad. He was basically the one who helped me be have you emailed Seth? Have you emailed these people? So just thanks for that. And then you're awesome too, Case. And Marquis and my other sister Robin, who's not here. But and then I just want to say thanks to the coaches. You guys are awesome. You guys have all played a part in just making me the player I am today. And all the little tips and advice that you guys have given me throughout the 4 years or whatever has been amazing. And then just Seth, thanks for, kind of like Emily said, believing in me. You've never seen me play before, and you just gave me that chance. And honestly, I didn't think I did that well on my tryout, so the fact that you saw something in me was awesome, because I was like, I cried to my parents. I was like, I suck. And then we had that meeting, and said I was like good on the team, and I was like, oh my god, cool. So just thanks for believing in me and just giving me a chance and helping me grow as not only a player but a person in the past 4 years. You're the best coach I've ever had. This is the best team I've ever been on. Like, it's just been an amazing 4 years, and I just can't thank you guys all enough for the parts you played and the parts you guys have all played. And so next year, you guys have to beat UPS at home, or at their home. You have to beat Linfield at their home, and then you have to win conference. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm gonna be jealous when you guys do that, but I'm just gonna be pumped for you guys. I'm cheering all the way for you guys, and so yeah, go Lutz.
All right, and our final senior, Kaylee Lyman. Natalie did a little rap song this year. Never forget the verse. Watch out for Lyman, she'll make you cry, man. It's a great little video of it. I think we'll watch it. Natalie, Bianca, and Kate did a nice little rap for the PLU with the soccer team, and Lyman got a shout out with the lyrics. So these are the things to remember. One of the things, you know, with Kaylee is I coached her for 1 year in club soccer. She was a senior on a U17 team, and I got this job kind of in January, February, and one thing I had heard is that when I got the job, you know, then you switch into recruiting mode. Okay, who's going to play here? And I heard that Kaylee was thinking about going to UPS. And so my first phone call was to Kaylee and said, no, you're not. No, you're not. And I think that night, after we spoke on the phone, she had applied to PLU that night. Certainly for me, a program builder, you know, unlike Nicoya and Jamie and Emily, who I didn't have there's a lot of experience with as a coach and a player, I did have that experience with Kaylee. I knew what she could bring, the sort of toughness, character, competitive spirit that I wanted this program to have as its calling card. One of the things that I wanted to have as its calling card. You know, she epitomizes all that. She plays a lot bigger than her height, which is 5'3", but she plays like she's 7'3". She will, you know, does a lot of the little things that a lot of coaches don't notice. And, you know, certainly I think sometimes she doesn't get all the recognition that she deserves because she does a lot of the quote-unquote dirty work in midfield in terms of winning, defending, covering for others to allow them to attack. And, you know, in my mind, I know how valuable she is when it comes to being a part of the team. So for her career, she played in 72 games and started 72 games. This past year, she played in 20 and started all 20. Wasn't the highest scorer, but she had 1 assist. 2014 and she's majoring in math education and minor in religion, and she wants to be a math teacher someday, so I think she's going to go back and get her master's and to get a teacher certificate. Her dad, Gary, and her mom, Sherry, awesome parents. Talk a little bit more about that later, but certainly Sherry was our parent kind of coordinator this year, and at every game. And like I said, for me, just Kaylee was a program builder. You know, in 2012, she was a program builder, and she's been here, and she's been one of those players that has seen the rise from where we started to now where we're at. And I can't thank her enough. I mean, I'm going to miss her a ton. and not just on the field, but just her leadership. She was a 2-time captain for us. And just all the intangibles that she brings to a team, because if any of you have ever coached a team, you understand it's more than just the people that score the goals, the people that save the shots. There's a lot of work in there that sometimes goes unnoticed, and I want you to know, Kaylee, I noticed it. So I'm proud of you, Kaylee Lyman.
First of all, I just want to say thank you to everyone, to the coaches, to my teammates, and to my parents for everything that you've done for me. Seth, you've been my coach for the last 5 years, and I have so much respect for you. You're so dedicated to this team, and I know I haven't thanked you enough for all that you do. You're such an inspiration, and your passion for the game is what has led this team so far. Your passion is what inspires me. You talk about my passion a lot when I foul and when I yell at the refs. Probably not the type of passion that you necessarily have, but that's where it comes from. It comes from me. So I just want you to know that. Kate, I've known you for many years now, and you're such a role model. You bring so much to this team, and although you can be kind of quiet, you know so much about the game and have always helped me. I hope you know how much you mean to this team and how great of a coach you are. Todd, I just got to know you this year, but so far you've done great things, and I'm glad you're a part of this team. You know a lot about the game as well, and you're super helpful to me, so thank you for that. Mark, I appreciate your humor. I'm sorry for always calling you an old man. Let's not pick on each other. You're a great goalie coach, and I'm glad I got to know you. Mom and Dad, thank you for supporting me at literally every single game. You're truly my heroes, and I can't thank you enough for all that you've done for me. Also, thanks for England. I didn't thank you enough for that. This team is unlike any other team I've been on. I can honestly say that I've never loved a team more than this one. I've created lifelong friendships and also everlasting memories. When people come here and they ask me about this team, that's literally the only thing I say is just like how much I love all of you. It's just, I don't even know how to describe it. We're such a family, and I'm just so grateful for you guys. We started off this year with the trip to England, and I know I'll never forget it. I wouldn't have wanted to experience that journey with any other team. It's hard to think back on the last years, knowing that it's over now. But I'll never forget our crazy bus rides, our rip-offs, dancing down the aisles, and basically just dancing in general. The Mafia games where I never knew how to tell the story of how each person would die, except for you, Jamie. A lot of memories will be of the soccer field, such as beating Linfield for the first time after I missed my PK, beating UPS 3-1 last year, and almost beating Manchester City in England. I say almost because it was 3-2, but it wasn't. Although a lot of my memories are from the games, I have to say just as many are from practices. That was the only place that I scored, so. The games that we played there, but mostly just from the time that we spent together. This team's a family, and I'm so grateful that I got to be a part of it. There's a special place in my heart for each and every one of you, and I just hope you all know how much it means to me. I'll be cheering you on next year when you guys finally take the conference championship. We've been through a lot, and I truly believe that next year is going to be that year. I love you all, and I really just want to say thank you for this incredible journey. My mom always talked about leaving a legacy, and you, but we got you guys this photo album, and we wrote like letters to the coaches, and we thought that this would be the legacy that we leave, and every year that we can have this, and it can be like on the bookshelves of the team room, so that like years down the road they can look back and be like, oh, this is what they did in 2015. So this is like.
Okay, a couple more thank yous and then we'll wrap it up. Pretty good. So we had a guy this year that I probably talk to Dave every day. Every day. Dave Robinson, Natalie's dad, was our video guru this year and just overall a great guy. Out of the goodness of his own heart, he's a kind man, wanted to do our video, which I will tell you is a huge hassle for me to organize and do, and just the way that our system is set up, it's not always the highest quality. But, you know, Dave pretty much videotaped every game from Minnesota to Oregon to Washington, offered to make copies for parents, would mail those out to Sherry and I on a Wednesday, and provided great quality. He also, out of the good of his heart, bought a TV and a Blu-ray DVD player for our team room, again, out of the goodness of his own heart. And I just want to say thanks to Dave because we did do some video work this year, and it's certainly something that I want to get better at. But for me as a coach to watch the quality and just do what he did at home, on the road, in another state, was amazing. And I certainly think he went above and beyond, you know, on what he decided to do. And that's because obviously he supports his daughter, but I think he also already loves this fan. And so I asked Natalie, or loves this team and this program. He's a huge fan. So I asked Natalie, does your dad have anything PLU? So Dave, we got you, all right, a nice PLU dad sweatshirt. Thanks, sir. And I'm not lying when Dave says, do you need some help videoing spring practice? Sure do. Lots of 11v11 coming in spring. So. Team, get ready. All right, and then my final thank you, well, not my final thank you, but the other individual that we have to recognize is our parent coordinator, Sherry Lyman. Sherry, you know, I thought that I was intense and competitive, and then I met Sherry. You know, those little, Sherry, Sam Benner's mom, who graduated in 2013, was my first parent liaison the first 2 years, and I thought Amber did a great job. And then along came Sherry, and kind of set a new tone and a new precedent. From asking to get into the team room before senior days and other days to decorate and put up all kinds of sayings and ribbons and just stuff for the players, to helping me organize the poinsettia thing, which I really don't do that much. It's all her, to organizing all of our after the game, post game refuels, bagels, chocolate milk, food, which is important for the players, especially on Saturdays, to play again on Sunday. And it really helps me, it helps the team in terms of nutrition recovery, so there's an important component there. It helps me not have to worry about that. And I just, you know, her passion and intensity, it's funny, I'm going to pick on you a little bit, Gary, but it's, you know, Sherry's just like, I know that Gary had some elbow surgery, but Sherry's just, even this morning, she's here before me, running around, setting things up, setting the tables, all these centerpieces. I mean, you know, I was here about 9:15, she was here probably at 8:45, and everything's all loaded, and Gary's got watching the car, making sure that everything's He's got elbow surgery, so I'm not trying to pick on him. I just, there was times when we were in the team room together, and I would be writing up the stuff on the board and the lineups and some of the points for the game, and you know, Sherry's busy doing everything, and Gary's holding things, and I'm, what are you doing there? Tie that tight. It's awesome to see, but I know that there's much love there. It's just, I know who's in charge there. Nothing wrong with it. But I just want to say, I mean, Sherry's, you know, she's been awesome. I mean, that's all I can say. She's been awesome. Her work ethic, her passion, you can see where Kaylee gets it. And she's a teacher herself, and so I know that Kaylee's following those footsteps, but she will be missed. And she, like I just saw actually Sam's mom the other day after the recruiting event at the Starfire, and you know, to see the former parent volunteer, and they're asking questions, and they're so happy to, you know, they want to know about the program, and Amber still comes to, she doesn't like Whitworth for whatever reason, so she always comes to the Whitworth game when we play them here, and she's always so happy when we beat them, and always obviously in dramatic fashion this year, but to see the sort of loyalty that parent volunteers who are 2 years removed from the program have still for the current team and the current program is just awesome. I know that Sherry's going to be in the same boat. So Sherry Lyman, thank you.
I do want to say a few words, and I wrote them down because I'm not a recall. And then a notebook that's just very brief. Mine's like 3 times that because I'm intense. But these are some of my thoughts, and I'll try not to cry too much. I'm so sorry. We've walked through life together for at least this year or several years past, whether we've been close or far apart. We've shared the highs and the lows and everything else. We've been connected with our daughters, the girls, their hearts, their dreams, their commitment, their devotion to the game and their team. We've been sensitive and supportive. We've laughed together. We've cried together. We've been dedicated to PLU, to our women, our soccer, our children, our daughters, granddaughters, girlfriends, and more. Their loyalty, their allegiance to one another is unquestionable and unconditional, and their bond has bonded us. I greatly appreciate that bond and that friendship. Thank you. I've been fortunate to share with so many of you special and amazing moments. You've truly become very, very good friends and family. I'm grateful for your friendship, and even though this chapter is to me has come to a close, you will live in my heart as a friend, just like a family. I believe in the power of wishes and prayers and dreams, that small things can be mighty, and big ideas can be reality, your championship, and that anything is possible. Most of all, I believe that you need to believe in yourselves. I know that God does. I do too, and I hope that this year and next year is your best. Thank you so much for the opportunities and the amazing moments you've shared with me. May you be blessed this season and next year. Forever known.
Sherry, you gotta come get your phone.
I'm not used to the game.
He's already passing the torch off. Okay. Just to wrap it up. I want to, again, just the closing of this 2015 season, and there was a...
So we kind of have a surprise.
Oh, okay. We have a surprise.
So Seth really liked the England video. We've seen it probably like 1,000 times. So we made him, well, Krista made him another little video. And you haven't cried yet at this thing? I think you might.